What's really good, my people? Welcome into No Ketchup Chicago, for Chicago, by Chicago. I am your host, Sean Little. Big Nick the Quick's in the building. Chicago Breeds Legends is in the building.
Yes, sir.
The website's up, NoKetchupChicago.com. Go check that out. Merch is up there. Cop you a hoodie if you haven't.
Cop 3, 4, 5.
Yes.
Get them all. Absolutely.
There's not very many left.
Yeah.
But the big boys got sizes, XL, double XL.
Yeah, we got everybody covered, man. You know what I'm
They're
saying?
up there.
It's big man friendly.
They're up there. So go cop that ASAP. Man, you already know what time. You know what time it is. You know how it is. You know what it is.
Yes, sir.
Let me get this off my chest really quick. Have you not lived in the United States of America? Why are people surprised that rich people are paying for their kids
That's the same,
to get into college?
Come on.
I don't understand.
It's not a surprise.
Where have y'all been?
Yeah, it's been like this.
I was reading this shit on Twitter. People outraged.
Oh, my God, I can't believe it.
Can you believe that this rich person paid for their goofy son to get into Yale?
Yes, I can.
Of course.
Of course.
Like,
why have the money if you're not going to spend it on getting your goofy ass son into Yale? I mean, let's keep it real. Like, yeah, I read it the same. It's one of those things that's like, yeah, how are you shocked and outraged by that? You know what I mean? Obviously, there's going to be a situation like that, and obviously, there's going to be someone who's going to be there to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The way I see it, Buddy saw a loophole. Hey, I can get in here, get this done. And I don't really, and like, you're trying to like bring down some of these celebrities that you caught in like the scandal. I'm like, I don't really blame them. You know what I mean? I'm going to go, I'll keep it real.
This is
I don't blame them at all. This is America.
You know what you do?
You got to pay to play.
You
got to pay to play, baby.
Pay to play.
If you got the money, you pay $1 million, your son goes to Yale, he's good for life.
Pay to play.
Hey, yeah, we'll take some pictures of her in a rowboat. She never rode a day in her life. It's all good. Yeah, I don't know how you're surprised about this. This is America.
I'm reading this Twitter stuff on the news, and people
like
are like shocked.
Oh, my gosh.
Can you believe this has been going on?
Yes.
Where have y'all been?
Yes.
Bro? Like, where do y'all live? Like, y'all must be not from America. I don't know where y'all are from.
It happens in all. I mean, it happens in all walks of life. Like, I'm sorry, if you're connected, if you got money, if you got the ability to pay to make things happen, you can make things happen. That's what you do. Everybody is corruptible, man. Like, there's nobody. I don't even know if that's a word, but everybody corruptible. Everybody can be corrupted. Everybody has a price. Come on, man. If you can bribe politicians, if you can bribe anybody, you can bribe whoever. Anybody can be bought. 100,000. Hey, take this essay. I'm gonna say my man was getting 10,000 per test.
Come on.
The dude who was taking it.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
And you think he's not taking these tests?
Yeah, I'll take 10 today.
He probably took D-Rose and shit.
I'll take that right now. Yeah. Well, Memphis, we need about 19 to get up in there. All right, yeah. DERICK. I'm on it.
Right.
Yeah.
So I had to get that. I had to get that out of the way real quick.
I thought that was funny
because I was I'm still laughing, and I was laughing at all this people talking about their outrage. They can't believe this. I'm like, where have y'all been?
Where have you been?
We're gonna talk about NFL free agency. This shit is around the clock.
Yeah, it's crazy. Don't
leave the phone. Have Schefter's notifications
taking a page out of the NBA, man.
Rappaport's notifications got to be on. This shit is nonstop. The Bears made a couple of moves. Amos is now in Green Bay.
Yep.
We're going to talk about that. LeBron's in town, and that shit's not significant at all.
Nope.
So we won't even touch that, but we'll touch it a little bit just because it's LeBron.
Sure.
But we're going to focus mainly on NFL free agency, Bears free agency. The division is getting tough. Then we're going to talk about the NBA. I want to talk about the Ibaka scrap, and I want to talk about this Russell Westbrook situation with the fan in Utah. And
Dolan
dealing with fans.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about that. And then I feel like we should share some of our dope stories. I just put story time on my list of things. And I was thinking with MLB coming up, we could tell maybe a sock story.
Oh, man.
And I think it's actually going to tie into the heckling fan thing. I want to talk about how we heckle and just a couple of different stories of us heckling.
Sure.
But everything else is good. We got that. Now that we got that school shit out the way, pay for play, that's obvious. This is how rich people get shit done.
That's how anybody gets shit done.
Yeah. Like,
let's keep it real.
Yes. Where's the cash?
Yeah. Pay me.
Show me the money.
Yep.
Everything else is good.
Yeah.
Chilling.
Yep.
Right before we hopped on, We're gonna get back to this, but Odell Beckham just got shipped to Cleveland
like a half hour ago.
Like literally 12 minutes ago. You know what I'm saying? He went to Cleveland for a 1, a 3, and Jabril Peppers,
who was a 1 first-round draft pick, I think,
last
2
year.
years ago or last year, right?
2 years ago,
out of Michigan.
Yes,
yeah,
stud.
Yeah,
or he was in
college. Yeah,
we'll see. So that's what I'm saying is the NFL has been crazy all day.
Yeah.
Ryan Pace is out here moving chess pieces.
Moving around some cash.
He's moving some cash around. Have you ever heard of someone doing that? What I'm referencing is they restructured Khalil Mack's deal to include, instead of roster bonuses and salary, it's now a signing bonus.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that specific thing being done, so I thought that was cool and interesting.
Does it affects the cap later on, right? Doesn't it do something?
It's got to do something.
Yeah, you can't just take the money away. Yeah,
I mean,
I think it affects the cap later on, or the number gets spread out differently. I think I think signing bonuses, you're able to spread them out throughout the life of the deal. So I think if you convert it to the signing, and I could be completely wrong, but if you convert it to the signing bonus, now it's just taking that money and adding it on to the cap for the next 2 or 3 years, which clears up money right now, but obviously takes away money in the future for some of the players. So,
yeah. So I had to check that live stream real quick. I'll just make sure that link worked. How do you feel about? You want to talk about Amos going to Green Bay first, or you want to talk about us picking up Buster from the Jets, our new nickel corner, and then what's his name, Ryan Davis, new tailback, Mike Davis from Seattle.
Yeah.
What do you want to talk about first?
I mean, we can talk about Amos going to the Packers. I mean, again, the Bears weren't going to pay him that money. I think he's a good player, just like Callahan, though. There's only so much you're going to pay for those guys, right? I think what matters for the Bears is keeping your real core players together. You're going to have to pay Eddie Jackson soon. You did pay. I think we paid Kyle Fuller already, right? Obviously, we're paying Khalil Mack. Trevathan is still on the books. Those type of guys. Those are your core players. So I think when it comes to a guy like Amos or Callahan, guys that you can replace through the draft and hope to get, 80, 85% of their production, you have to go ahead and do that. And that's how the NFL works. You can't keep everybody. More so than any other sport, the NFL, you cannot keep everybody. When guys get good, guys are going to go get paid. There's only so much money. You got 53 spots to fill. We talked about a couple months ago. I said the biggest thing I want to see for the Bears is adding depth, and you can't do that if you're paying everybody. So I think that, I'm really happy for him. Obviously, he parlayed a good year with the Bears into a lot of money with Green Bay. And yeah, but I'm not going to cry over it.
Yeah, Amos 4-year, $37 million deal to go to Green Bay. $21 million in the first 2 years.
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of cash.
Yeah.
He's 26 years old.
Yep.
He's good safety, though.
Yeah, he is.
And the Packers are going to benefit from bringing him on. I'm not the biggest believer of, he's bringing over inside information. We're going to have a whole new defensive coordinator. I was on Twitter. People were talking about that. I saw there was an Instagram account, 247 Bears, that Tariq Cohen tweeted out that was giving Amos crazy slander about going to Green Bay. You're going against everything we built, blah, 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 blah.
You got to get paid.
Come on, dog. Yeah. This is the NFL.
There's only 31 other jobs available. He's got to pick one.
And you know what else I thought about? I'm watching all this money fly around, and I'm thinking, man, these dudes don't make any cash compared to everybody else.
No, not at all.
It kind of made me sick.
Yeah, even when you see Antonio Brown's deal, he's the best player.
This is the best wide receiver.
$23 million a year.
Arguably top 2 best receiver in the league.
Yeah.
Top 3.
Yeah.
And he's he had to do a coup to get 30 mil to get out of Steve.
He makes as much as Chandler Parsons.
Exactly. You feel me?
Yeah. So and then you hear all these numbers too. It's $80 million deal. It's no, you need to hear the guarantees, and even beyond that, you need to hear how it's structured. Because none of that, it could be an $80 million deal, and the player gets cut in year 2 and sees $16 million. You know what I mean?
Anything.
Most of that cash is up front, and that's why guys are always trying to renegotiate 2 or 3 years down the line because there's no money at the end of the deal.
If it's not a quarterback and it says anything over 3 years, it's almost that's just not. Every NFL deal is 3-year deal.
Yeah, that's 100%.
If it's a 3-year deal, period. I don't care if it says 6. I don't care if it says 5.
Which brings me to another thing. Are you surprised that And maybe I guess it's because we haven't. Well, we did see a quarterback hit the market. We saw Nick Foles hit the market. Are you surprised that the Cousins deal is the only deal that we've seen like that so far? That no one kind of followed suit and went for just straight guaranteed money? I mean, he was in a very unique situation that he was the only free agent QB on the market, and obviously he was in high demand and could pretty much ask for whatever he wanted. But at the same time, you haven't seen anybody really employ that strategy. Whereas I thought that might set some kind of, a
little trend.
Yeah.
He's a quarterback.
Yeah.
And then he's on top of that, he was in a very unique situation coming off the back-to-back tags.
Made a lot of money.
And it was a very unique situation because Minnesota was so thirsty for a quarterback.
Yeah.
And they
still are.
In their eyes, that was the missing piece, and they were going to do anything they needed to do to try to lock who they thought was in there. That. So yeah, I feel you on that, but
no other players have pursued it. I mean, remember that was it was $84 million guaranteed.
Period. Yeah. So
cut him tomorrow, he gets $84 million.
Yeah. So I mean, you would hope. I'm the fan that loves to see all the players get paid. So you would hope it would go that way. But dude, you say of course, but the more and more I'm on Twitter and talk to people, they tend to side with the organization more than you even realize.
As far as not paying a player?
About just decisions on players, not getting the money. Talk to some random people about the Le'Veon Bell situation. Get rid of him. He is trouble. Antonio Brown, what a mess. Get rid of him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean I think the Le'Veon Bell and the Antonio Brown situation are two different situations. But I mean, if I was a Steelers fan, I don't blame you for saying get rid of Le'Veon Bell if you don't want him around anymore. Not because he's a bad dude. It's just whatever, man. Forget it. We found James Conner, whatever his name is, produced just fine for us this year. It is what it is. I don't think they realize how much they really fucked their franchise for the next couple of years. But fans are stupid, man. Most they're not looking at it in that perspective of it's what's best for the players, what's best for the fan. So I think we're probably unique in that perspective of that. It's go ahead and get paid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't care if he goes and plays for the Pack. All that. And you got to remember, it's not like Adrian Amos grew up a fan of the Chicago Bears.
Facts.
He played here for 4 years. You know what I mean? It's not I can't go play for the Packers. How dare I do that? You know what I mean? It's not like he grew up an Ohio State fan and signed a letter of intent with Michigan or some shit like that. You know what I mean? He's going to go where the money's at.
Yeah. Just like 95% of everybody else.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Bears running back situation because this has a lot of layers to it now. They signed so we've made a couple signings. We just did Cordell Patterson today.
Yeah.
We did Mike Davis, running back. We did Buster. We don't know how to pronounce his last name. Skrine, Buster Skrine.
Skirn.
When he makes a couple plays like Bryce Callahan, then I'll learn his last name. How about that?
Buster.
Yeah, for now, it's Buster.
We signed Buster.
But before we signed Cordell Patterson, our cap space after Pace made that $11 million move with the Mack restructure, we had about $26 million in cap space. Mm-hmm. So after the draft, throw in the draft, what is that, another probably $5 million for 3 or 4 people or whatever? Yeah. It's around $20 to $21 million, $22 million in cap space.
Isn't your draft money already figured into your cap space?
I don't think so. I think you still got to write those deals, and then they go on the books.
Because it's all slotted, though, isn't it? Isn't the money already slotted? It's the terms that
but I mean, the numbers that I was looking at was the current cap space, and then so we don't.
Okay.
Because you know how that shit goes. I don't think they would lock it in because then it's you never know, people are going to trade picks or whatever. So I think they wait. But the glaring, I'm sitting here looking at all the moves today, and what other reason could Ryan Pace be moving all this money around but to try to go after Le'Veon Bell? Now, we're going to get back to that, but how do you feel about the Mike Davis signing, running back from Seattle? I'm not going to lie. I didn't know much about dude.
I never heard of him.
I watched a little highlight video, and that was about it.
Shout out Runzel. He just sent us
he just sent another one. I saw that come through.
Yeah.
But he seems like a bruiser type of dude.
Yeah.
He's not a dynamic guy like Nagy would. Seems like
they say he's better out the backfield than Howard, but that's not saying too much.
Yeah, but I mean,
as far as catching out the backfield, I'm sorry, yeah.
I think it goes back to what we've been saying for. It's so funny. I still remember being in Green Bay, doing the vlog, and going to that first game of the season, the first running back carry up the middle was to Tariq Cohen, and I was like, you can go back and watch the vlog. I'm like, wow, first carry Tariq Cohen. I thought that spoke volumes off the top, right?
About what he's trying to do.
Yeah, and he just doesn't rock with Jordan Howard. That's it. We've been saying that, right? What do you think about the running back situation? What direction? Is Jordan Howard just going to chill? What are we going to do with all this?
Yeah, I don't know why you have to trade Jordan Howard. He's not making a lot of money. And, I mean, his deal was up at the end of the year, right? So, I mean, you can ride him out for another year. I did see this article that said, the Bears' offense is actually worse with Jordan Howard on the field versus other running backs. So that could have some part of it. But, I mean, yeah, we talked about it all year. Obviously, that's not his guy. That wasn't the guy that he wanted to go with. I don't know if the solution is giving Mike Davis $3 million a year and then going with Cohen and Davis. So, I mean, I think if you don't sign another back and if you're not grabbing a Le'Veon Bell or you don't plan on taking a back with, one of the picks that you have, I wouldn't feel comfortable with that being our running back situation going into the season. Because the one thing is with Howard is towards the end of the season when we did start using him in games where we need to start using him and we're trying to preserve leads, he was available for us. And I don't know if you're doing that with Mike Davis. You know what I mean? So is he going to help us out catching out the backfield? Great. That's awesome. We can use him in specialty formations, things like that. But I don't think the 2019 Bears running back core can be Mike Davis and Tariq Cohen. To me, that's scary. So, yeah. So, if you're going to go after Bell,
I'm just trying to think about.
There's so much, yeah.
I'm just trying to think about it from Jordan Howard's position.
Yeah.
He's at the crib
what's going on?
What is happening?
Well, they might have signed Mike Davis regardless. They need a third back. You got to replace Benny Cunningham.
Yeah. Okay.
The money's there. It's not a lot. Depending on how you look at the deal, I don't know how much it actually breaks down to real money.
$7 million max over 2, so it's like you said, roughly about 2.
Yeah.
I mean 3 per. Yeah.
So I mean, they might need to get a third guy anyways. And again, if he can catch the ball better out the backfield, that's something that you need. I think he's probably at the crib reading Twitter though, and seeing everybody wants to get rid of him. And that might be bothering him because the Twitter has come after him. As far as trade Jordan Howard, but if you can't get anything of significant value, not significant, but solid value for him, I wouldn't do the deal.
But then what? Let him walk?
When?
At the end of the year?
Why not? Yeah, fine.
But why? He's a good back. Why not try to get something for him while we
because
can?
I don't think,
especially if you're not.
I don't know what you're going to get for him.
But you're not interested in paying him.
I don't know what you're going to get for him. What do you think you're going to get for him? It's a running back, and he's not special. He's not special. He's good.
I'm saying get a fifth.
You're not getting a fifth for him. Antonio Brown just went for a third. You're not getting a fifth for Jordan Howard.
But he's a menace.
Whatever.
he's a menace.
You're not getting all that for him, man.
Well, this is okay. Put it like this.
You'll get like
I don't want to see
seventh type situation.
I don't want to see Nagy bury him on the bench all year, essentially.
Yeah.
And then let him walk at the end. Sell him. Brian Pace, do your job and go get the most you can for him.
Then what do you do to replace him?
Trade him. Go draft a back. Have Davis, a rookie back, Tariq, and then maybe even get Le'Veon if that's what you want to do. But I just
you can't just throw in maybe even get Le'Veon. Well, yeah, you know what I mean. Like that changes the entire the entire equation. Well, let me ask you this: how would you feel about the Bears getting Le'Veon? I mean, where are you on the Bears signing him? Does it matter to you, or do you think that we should just throw the money right now and worry about it later? Do the Rams approach? What the Chiefs are probably, thinking.
It's interesting, right? So the question is, do you blow up the rest of the space and add Le'Veon Bell, or do you add depth around the squad and get deep and get better and rock with Jordan Howard, Davis, and Tariq Cohen? Now, would I rather rock with Tariq Cohen, Jordan Howard, Davis, and then add pieces around the squad to add depth to the team, make sure we get a very good safety? I would probably go that route. Would I be mad if we brought Le'Veon Bell on? Nah, I couldn't say I'd be upset about that. I'll take the shiny new toy. And because, listen, we have to win the Super Bowl in the next, 2 years?
So this is what I was going to say.
3 years?
You need to, and I think if you're Ryan Pace and you're Nagy, you got to look yourself in the mirror and you got to say, do we believe that Mitch Trubisky is good enough to win us a Super Bowl in the next 2 years? If the answer to that question is yes, then you sign Le'Veon Bell.
Listen. That question doesn't matter anymore because we're in bed with Trubisky.
No, but I'm saying here's what I'm saying. If you're gonna spend that money on a Bell, who's a player who's supposed to take you over that hump, you better be sure that your quarterback is good enough. Is what I'm saying.
At this point,
if your quarterback's not good enough, you can't make that move.
At this point, it doesn't matter because they're gonna go down in flames with Trubisky, or we're gonna win the Super Bowl with Trubisky. So he's
in 2 years is what I'm saying.
You feel what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying in that.
He's gonna have to be good enough because that's what we got, right?
But if you spend that money on Bell, you better know that he's good enough. Because if you spent that money on Bell and he's not good enough, it's all for nothing.
Okay. I get what you're saying, but pace is going down. Feast or famine with Mitchell Trubisky.
Of course.
So, in my eyes, when Ryan Pace gets up and when he's trying to do all this stuff with the Le'Veon situation and clearing all this space, he knows he's going to get fired regardless, right? I'm going to go out where listen,
so y'all not
gonna say I didn't give Mitch enough weapons. Yeah. Y'all not gonna say we didn't have enough talent on the team when I was in place. Like, we gave it a run. It didn't come to fruition. Then y'all go ahead, fire me, fire Nagy, because that's how the NFL works, and y'all go ahead and rebuild it.
Okay.
Because that's what it is. So you think we should? So you're saying we should go get Le'Veon then? Yeah,
the more I'm against paying running backs. But I think what happened last year is the Bears went from being like, oh, we're building and like we want to see some progress with this thing to a very like accelerated and rapid development until we got to the playoffs of like, oh, we have Super Bowl caliber parts, right? So I think that almost has to change your mindset. If you're building, no. You know what I mean? But if you really feel like, this roster, I mean, we could have used him in that game, right? We could have used him against the Eagles. We could have used him all year. If you feel like his head is right and his body's right, because they're saying he's looking kind of fat.
Oh yeah,
yeah. They're saying they're worried about his conditioning. But that could be bullshit that's thrown out there by the Steelers and all that. You never know.
Yeah.
You gotta take that with a grain of salt. But if you feel like that's where you're at, I will go for it. And again, I'm not for paying running backs $15, $16 million a year, but I do think the Bears are in a unique opportunity. I think that we're the best team in our division, right? I think we have the second best quarterback in our division. We have the best defense in our division, right? So I think that we're going to win the division again, and that gets you in the playoffs. And if you get in the playoffs with Le'Veon Bell
and a bye,
Allen Robinson, those guys, you got to go for it. And if in 2 years it doesn't work out, guess what? If you're Ryan Pace, in 2 years it doesn't work out, you're probably fired anyways.
Exactly.
So go ahead and roll the dice. Go after Le'Veon Bell. Blow up the cap space because you probably won't be around for the Eddie Jackson contract and the other guys you got to pay. They're on the roster now. Figure it out later. Yeah. Not everybody can be the Patriots and play that like game of not paying people and, because you don't have Tom Brady. You don't have all that stuff around. So I think you kind of got to go for it. I mean, you see teams going for it. Look at the Browns. They're going for it. Fuck it. We see a little window.
Right, yeah.
The Steelers aren't going to be as good this year, right?
Yep.
We see a little window in this division. All you got to do is get in. The Eagles showed you last year. All you got to do is get in. You know what I mean? These other teams, you just got to get in. 10 wins, 9 wins, it doesn't matter. Get into the tournament. And then if you got the horses, go. So if you get into the tournament and you got Le'Veon Bell, go. And that goes against everything I believe in building a team. But I think our building process has been accelerated.
I think you have to win the Super Bowl with Mitchell Trubisky on a rookie contract or it's a wrap.
Look what LA's doing.
Simple as that.
Yeah, they're worried about it later.
Yeah, simple as that.
Worried about it. Look, we still got Goff. Hey, in a couple of years, we got to get rid of everybody else. That's fine. We'll have Goff, Gurley, and Aaron Donald, and we'll figure out the rest. We'll have Khalil Mack, Mitchell Trubisky, Allen Robinson, and Le'Veon Bell, and we'll figure out the rest in a couple of years.
I will say this. It'd have to be a very specific deal for Le'Veon for me to really want it. Gurley got $50 million guaranteed.
Yeah.
He's going to look for something in that ballpark, which I don't think he should get.
No.
So, what is it then? 47?
Well, I don't know because
3-year 48?
Yeah.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
Give me the 3-year 48, and then we finagle a way to get a solid safety in there. Give me Ha-Ha Clinton Dix.
Yeah.
Give me another Bama boy. I think it's a red flag that Green Bay just kind of washed their hands with him and sent him to Washington. And Washington did the same thing.
And then paid a safety immediately.
Yes.
I don't think Clinton Dix is that good.
Clinton Dix is all right, though.
Yeah. I mean, he's probably still – but, again, you said give me a Bama boy. He's one of those guys I think is still riding off of college.
He's 26 years old,
too. It's like, oh, yeah, everybody knows Clinton Dix.
But then who do we fill out? Who's the safety we fill out?
I don't know. You find a guy on the cheap. If you're going to go after Le'Veon – if you're going to spend that kind of money, or if this money could be for Justin Houston, people have talked about that. That
would be crazy.
Yeah,
I don't see that happening.
I think you need to overload your defense with that many high-priced guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think when you have a Khalil Mack makes all those guys so much better that you don't necessarily need to pay Justin Houston a ton of money. But this morning I talked myself into Le'Veon Bell.
Well, let's be real. Number 1 defensive efficiency in the league.
Yep.
Chicago Bears. On offense, we're 21.
And we were 21. And who are we losing? Callahan and Amos, right?
So we're losing Callahan and Amos.
That's it, right?
That's it.
Nobody else.
Not that's any significance, no. So we need to get our offense better. Le'Veon Bell can definitely do that.
Right away.
Right away.
Like the day he signs.
Like the day he comes in.
Yeah. If
we could get him in that 3-year frame, like we just said, the NFL deal. Figure out a way if we're gonna sign Le'Veon Bell to make sure it doesn't creep out of 3 years where we can drop him and not be hurt after that 3rd year.
Can you give him a 2-year deal with a shit ton of cash?
I just don't think he signs a 2-year.
Yeah.
What we gonna do? I mean, you know what I mean? Like, we couldn't support the money that he's looking for in the 2-year, right? So
I think he's looking for money, though. I mean, make no mistake about it. You cannot sell him on the young core and go to the playoffs and all that. He just showed you, look. I will sit out instead of playing for $14 million. I will sit off a potential playoff team instead of playing for $14 million. So he's straight about the cash, like straight like that.
Yeah, I thought it was funny that people were trying to talk about like what is he looking for, what is he gonna do?
Money.
And it's like, bro, he just sat out a whole year for money. Yeah. He's looking to get paid.
If Buffalo called with $50 million now, he's moving to upstate New York.
Right
now,
Orchard Park.
He's getting his parka. You feel me?
Orchard Park.
Yeah, I'm there.
He's there.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Saskatchewan Rough Riders got $50 million. I'm there. I'm ready to play ball.
That's what it is.
He doesn't care.
Exactly, right? So people were talking about what is he going to do. I was listening to a ton of sports radio today. Chicago. I was jumping back and forth from 670 to ESPN 1000.
I don't support that.
And people were talking on 670. People were talking about the Packers. I don't even want to hear about the Packers, bro. It's our time.
That's what you get listening to 670.
Until they come back, will they be better than next year? You see me spitting water out?
I was looking at the screen at the same time, too.
They will be better than next year, yeah. But, man, come talk to me about the Packers. I don't want to hear about – it's about us.
Yeah.
Can't nobody beat us if we're on our shit.
And
that's what it is
right now. We're on top right now, yeah. I don't want to hear about the Packers at all. What have they done for their offense?
Not much.
Yeah.
Not much.
What have they done for their offense? What have they helped Aaron Rodgers with?
Correct.
Their defense is trash, I understand, so they needed some defensive upgrades.
They added a bunch of pieces.
But what have you done for your offense? Who are his top? Who does he got?
Yeah, no.
Was Randall Cobb still over there?
Yeah.
Still trucking along?
Randall Cobb can play, G. No, don't
Devontae
disrespect Randall Cobb.
Devontae
Adams can play, too. Yeah. Devontae Adams, nice.
Go get that man some weapons.
All right, let's stay on this. So to close it out, you want to see Le'Veon to come to town. Let's get it done.
Yeah, let's get it done.
Let's just go after it.
Let's just go after it. Let's do it. Why worry about it later, man? Cap will go up.
Cap is going up.
Cap's going up.
Cap's going up.
Cap's going up. Worry about it later, man.
Cap's going up.
Worry about it later. It's not like the NBA where you sign one of these deals and it's like, yeah, shit is all guaranteed. Yeah, and you can't get out of it.
You're toast.
And like 5 years later, you still got Chandler Parsons.
You're doing buyouts.
Shout out Chandler Parsons, $100 million.
And you're calling Ronsdorf for
I saw the other day Chandler Parsons is averaging 2.7 points a game on 27% shooting. And he's making $24 million this year.
Yeah, he's been making $24 million.
But he's 27% shoot. You know how bad you got to be to shoot 27% and you're a shooter?
Yeah, that's what you do.
Yeah.
That's like being
not yoking on anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's like being a rebound specialist and you averaging 4.5 boards a game.
In 30 minutes. 20, shout out Chandler Parsons' agent. Straight up. The NBA money will make you go crazy.
Let's stay on this NFL tip.
All right.
NFL free agency. NFL's all year long, dog.
Yeah. They're trying to do the NBA thing.
Straight like that.
You know what made me think about it? I think I kind of heard on the radio today too, is it's funny, like the NBA has figured out the year-round shit. The NFL figured out the year-round shit, like get these crazy blitzes right in the beginning of free agency. Like baseball just went through 3 months of their free agents not signing, and guys still aren't signed. Like they need to figure that out. Like
what do you do?
I don't know. But there's no reason that Harper and Machado should be sitting on the market for like 90 days. You know what I'm saying? And nobody's signing them. I just thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, it is.
Because they can't really, there's no drama. It's just like, yeah. But like 2 months after like it had happened, I'm just like, I don't care, man. Like I'm done. I'm done waiting for these guys to sign.
Baseball's a snooze fest until
they need
October
to figure it out.
low.
They need to figure it out.
Yeah. Okay. Odell Beckham Jr. Cleveland Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I actually, when I first saw it, I laughed because I hated the deal for the Giants. I didn't see what they had gotten back. I just saw that they had traded him, and I was like, wow, that's just so stupid. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, you got a franchise running back, young. You have a franchise receiver, young. You need to draft a quarterback. Like, what better thing to give a quarterback than a franchise running back and a franchise receiver? Then I saw what they got back for it, and it's a nice haul.
It's not a bad haul.
And from Cleveland's side, it's like, yo, you can only sell your fans draft picks for so long, and you've been selling your fans draft picks for 30 years, and none of them have panned out. You finally have a quarterback that you like. You went and picked up Kareem Hunt sneakily
for
the low. You got
and John Dorsey. I'm gonna tell you this. I don't know John Dorsey, but he seems like the type of dude that he doesn't give a fuck about that whole Kareem Hunt shit.
No, he doesn't care
in front of the cameras, he might tell you like, yo, you know, he'll be very politically correct in front of the camera, but when the doors close, he's chewing that gum.
Yeah.
So let's go play some football, Kareem.
He brought in Kareem Hunt and Odell Beckham Jr. He's not worried about perception right now.
He's not worried about none of that.
But you know what? He sees, hey, I got a young quarterback who I like. I want to give him some weapons. The time is now. We could accelerate this thing too. Again, he just saw Trubisky do well in year 2. He saw Goff do great in year 3. So he's looking at it like, yeah, I'm gonna get these. I don't forget those picks. We've been having picks here for years, and they don't pan out. Give me a player. Give me some horses.
Can we
Juice Landry and OBJ?
Can we get a back-to-back Hard Knocks?
Yeah.
Run it back.
Yeah.
Send it.
Watch Hugh Jackson.
Send it right back to Cleveland, bro.
Yeah,
I need all
I
that.
See that. I want to see the Freddie Kitchens. I like that.
This
dude,
is what I'm saying. Yeah. Whoever HBO, send it right back to Cleveland.
And you'll see like real Baker too.
Real
now
Baker.
It's like Baker's,
Because now he's not. He's
feeling himself.
Now.
Yeah, he's feeling himself. Yeah.
I need the back-to-back Hard Knocks in Cleveland,
with,
bro.
With Beckham, Kareem Hunt. Yeah. Bring it back.
Need it.
Yeah. I love that deal for them, though, man. Again, I think you burn the draft picks. Bring me a guy that I know can play. Bring me a name. Let me sell some excitement to my fans. I mean, they're really trying to rebuild their whole thing and their whole image. And I love that he went out and made that move because that's crazy. And bring the LSU boys back together.
But look at the Browns. Baker Mayfield, Nick Chubb, who had a huge year last year, Kareem Hunt, Odell Beckham Jr., Jarvis Landry, and then David Njoku.
I was gonna call him Nwaba, but that's what he was playing for the Bears.
The Bulls. Yeah, David Njoku.
Njoku, yeah, his first round pick. Yeah, good. He's
big tight end, big boy,
athletic tight end,
strong, big boy. Yeah. So Baker got some toys.
Quarterback, give him the toys to succeed.
If I'm a Giants fan, I'm livid because what are y'all doing?
Why have you still not put
Make up your
priority
mind.
on
Like, what is happening? And why is Eli still here?
Why is he still here?
Okay, we're going to rebuild. Cool. Get Eli out.
Bring anybody in.
Get Odell out. Get Collins out. Let them all walk. Yeah. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, why is Eli? I don't understand the holding on to Eli thing. I am not in the camp of people who said that they should have taken Saquon because I think, number one, Saquon obviously worked out. And number two, Saquon was the best player on the board by far. There was a huge drop-off after Baker Mayfield in that quarterback class. Say what you want to about Darnold. Rosen, Jackson, whatever. Saquon was by far the best player. He was the best player in the draft coming out, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
So I have no problem with them taking him. I do have a problem with them not even exploring quarterback options. Anybody. Bring in somebody who you think might be okay. Bring in somebody you can develop. It does not matter. They will be better than Eli Manning. Eli Manning is terrible.
Eli been trashed for years.
Years,
bro.
Years,
bro. Yeah,
if you get to the Super Bowl, that's fine. Insert Eli Manning in the third quarter, and he'll do what he does. Until that happens, bring somebody else in. I don't understand why you're not playing a young quarterback.
No doubt.
I like anybody. And again, I mean, like I don't get it. If they don't draft a quarterback with one of these 2 first-round picks that they now have, I'm going to lose my mind. And I'm not even a Giants fan because I just don't get it.
I can't. Yeah, I can't.
They're so low. I get it. Eli's a great guy. He's been great for the fan base, like everything like that. Whatever, man. His time has passed. He got 2 rings out the deal. It's good.
Yeah, fair. Let him go. Right.
He'll be fine. He's made a lot of money.
Before we get into the Bulls and LeBron in town, they're already tipped right now, probably.
Yeah.
Let's talk about a couple other free agents really quick. I'm going to close it with a good one for you. We'll have fun with the last one. But that Landon Collins deal kind of jumped out at me. That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of bread for a safety.
Like, I get he's elite, and he made a lot of plays when he first came in the league when they were good. Like, he's been an animal. I get it, but that's a lot of bread for a safety.
He really made the Giants a lot better last year.
But you feel what I'm saying? Like, for a non-impact player, that shit is
a lot of money
wild.
for a safety.
Yeah, period.
And he's like a box safety too, right? He's not like a roamer type.
He's a run support. He's not Ed Reed.
Yeah, he's like I'm gonna smack you up and I'm gonna play in the box.
Yeah, right. Yeah. He come down and fills type thing. Like,
it's a lot of money, man.
It's a lot.
Shout out Landon Collins. That's a lot of money.
Nick Foles. I think this is interesting because I think. Do you remember those old Bears teams where the defense was so good and they were just like so frustrated that they knew our offense was shit and they're like, man, we're gonna have to go out here and try to do everything. I kind of feel like that's what the Jaguars are.
100%.
And they kind of are just like they were like last year, like 2 years ago, they were really good.
And he played okay.
Right? So then the next year comes, he plays like shit, and I think the defense. They had a couple injuries. They got rid of Dexter Fowler, sent him to the Rams.
Yeah.
But they were just kind of like over it. Like, man, like
it's tough to play like
it's tough because
he reverted back to being really, really, really bad.
Like they're not going to score any points. Like, so whatever. I think Foles is going to go in there, revitalize them a little bit, give them some energy. I think they could be back to being very, very solid.
I saw they were talking about. I think it was like on Get Up. They didn't give the stats, but they said over the last 2 years. Or like 2.5 years, Jacksonville has not lost a game where the quarterback played well.
Like they had like a QBR number or something?
QBR, yeah. So whatever the baseline number of like a decent performance by a quarterback, they have not lost a game.
Yeah, so I could see.
That's crazy. So, I mean, I think they got to roll the dice too.
Go out there, get your guy.
Foles is a Super Bowl winning quarterback, man. I mean, he's solid. You know, if you put the right pieces around him and try to replicate what he did in Philly, allow him to get the ball out quick. Yeah. That's what he needs to do. But, I mean, again, go for it. It's not happening with Blake. You cannot look at that defense and roll out Blake Bortles again and be like, here, we're going to give you guys another 16 game of Blake. Like, he ain't it. It's not it.
Deshaun Jackson back in Philly. I fucking love Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah. Fuck Chip Kelly.
He's great.
Let's talk like real quick. I mean, how they ran him out of town is one of the most ludicrous things I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Plant the stories about him being a gang member.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
They were like, oh, yeah, he has gang affiliations. I'm like, yo, dude, he's a young dude from Compton, like gang affiliations. Like, get out of here. Come on, man. You probably know,
he got some homies that are in a gang.
I know somebody in a gang. Like, get out of here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was crazy. All of it planted by Chip Kelly.
Yeah.
Who got rid of Deshaun Jackson for being racist, but then remember he handed a contract to Riley Cooper. I'm sorry, Deshaun Jackson for being a gang member, but then handed a contract to Riley Cooper.
Yeah, that. Wow,
Kelly.
I forgot about that Riley Cooper. He jumped in the stands and told that. Yeah. He was talking that racist talk.
Yep. And remember he traded Shady McCoy.
Yeah. He came in and started doing all types of
crazy shit.
Let's close it out with this. T-Sizzle.
Yeah.
Terrell Suggs going back to Arizona.
Sun Devil, baby.
This is perfect.
Sun Devil.
If you want to talk about someone running their career the right way, Go look at Terrell Suggs. You want to be a backer?
Yeah.
Go talk to Terrell Suggs.
Made a lot of money.
Won
Super Bowl.
Won Super Bowls.
Yep.
He won a couple, didn't he?
Yeah,
he won the first one. Yeah, he won 2, right?
He won 2.
He won that first one with Ray? No?
Wait. No, they've only won. Ray had 2, right? He won the first one with Ray.
Right, and then he won the next one.
No, he won the second one with Ray Lewis.
He didn't win the first one?
No, that was in like 1998. Bro, he would have had to been playing in the NFL for like 20. That was fucking
I guess
Trent
that was
Dilfer
2000.
was quarterback.
That was like 2000.
That was Dilfer.
Against the Giants. Kerry Collins.
Yeah.
Okay, you're right. He's got 1 though. Mm-hmm. And he's just that dude.
My boy was taking summer school classes at ASU.
Terrell Suggs.
He looked over.
This is a Terrell Suggs story.
So he looked over and he seen the biggest dude he's ever seen in his life.
Yeah, the ugliest dude.
Yeah. And he's
the biggest and the ugliest dude in his life.
He said it was Terrell Suggs taking graduate classes, like while he was already in the NFL and stuff.
Love it.
He came back to ASU, was taking classes. They looked over, he saw like by far the largest human being he's ever seen in his life.
Dude, Terrell Suggs is a beast.
He's a beast. He looks like he played football.
And I'm gonna tell you,
he looks like his name should be Terrell Suggs.
He knows it's a wrap.
Yeah.
He's gonna go out to Zona where he went to school, got people.
Is he from Arizona?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's got a house out there though. But he's familiar with his surroundings.
He knows what's up.
He gonna go out there chill.
He's gonna be on Mill. He's gonna be in Old Town Scottsdale.
He's gonna be in Old Town Scottsdale kicking it.
Old Town, yeah.
All that. He's gonna be chilling.
Go to the cantina.
He's gonna make some tackles here or there. He's gonna mentor some players on the Cardinals.
Sunset, man. Hang out with Larry Fitz.
He's gonna clown in training camp.
He's gonna kick it with Larry Fitz a little bit here and there, man. 2 old guys.
Yeah. I love it. That's a great play to go out there.
Not gonna listen to Cliff Kingsbury.
Absolutely not. Cliff Kingsbury cannot say a word to him about anything.
Hey, real quick, give me 30 seconds on this though, since we brought up the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Are you taking Kyler Murray #1 if you're the Cardinals?
I can't answer that because I'm not behind the scenes talking and seeing and hanging out with Josh Rosen every day.
Are you taking Kyler Murray #1 if you're the Arizona Cardinals?
If you're behind the scenes and you're a new staff and you come in and you're like, this dude Josh Rosen is a bum, then you have to.
You have to.
And that's a tough situation for Josh Rosen because
it's not the people that drafted him,
aren't the people that picked you,
bring
my
you
guy.
in, man.
They bring you. You're not under the wing.
We don't know you.
We don't know you like that.
It's the GM that picked you.
Yeah, but the coach, we don't know you like that, bro. We didn't pick you.
Yep.
I don't like this film like that.
Let me go get my man some Oklahoma.
So that's what it is, right?
Yeah.
Because that's how it's always been.
Yep.
So if you come in and any type of question mark or instability you feel with Josh Rosen, they're automatically looking at someone else, bro. So
that's why.
Do you take Kyler Murray if you think he's the answer and you think Josh Rosen is not? Then yeah, go ahead.
And if I'm the Giants and they take Kyler Murray, I'm on the phone asking for. If the Giants aren't the first people on their phone saying, "Hey, what do we give me Josh Rosen?" And they're crazy.
Josh Rosen, and I bring in someone else, and I bring in someone else.
Bring in somebody else. Yeah.
Like let's look at them all.
Bring them all.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah. Let's switch over to the Bulls, NBA. LeBron James in town and the Lakers. They're playing right now. Let me check the score real quick. Let me see what they're doing. Zach LaVine is out. The talk is to sit him the rest of the season. How you feel about that?
Yeah, I'm fine with it. 100% fine with it. There's no reason that he should suit up in a Bulls uniform for the rest of the year. There's nothing that they can accomplish. There's nothing to accomplish. You showed what you need to show in the second part of the season. You gave some people hope. Zach balled out. You know what I mean? He's going to end the season on a high note. Let him sit. That's that.
Bulls up 60-55 at halftime. Markkanen's got 6 points. Diakono's got a dozen. Rolo has a dozen, of course.
Someone told me don't be surprised if Diakono gets 3 years, $24 million in free agency.
Who told you that?
I heard it on the radio.
8 per?
Yeah.
If he gets 8 per, then what's TJ McConnell gonna get on the phone and get? Because he's probably is TJ McConnell better than Ryan Arcidiacono or no?
He plays on a better team, so he's got more exposure. But I mean, I think you need guys. I don't know if $8 million, considering the Bulls' point guard situation, I don't think he's
Ryan's
a starter.
Better scorer.
I give him $8 million a year to be the backup.
He hustles, man. He plays
absolutely.
His ass off.
I'll give him $8 million a year to be a backup. Yo, he's gonna be one of those dudes you'll look up in like 6 years, and he's making big plays for like a contender. the Dellavedova type role, type scrap. Yeah, I'm telling you, man.
I don't know about that.
Just like McConnell.
I know you'll look up and he'll still be in the league.
Yeah, he'll be in the league. Not like he's going to be a key player on a contender, but he'll be making plays. He'll have his moments. There'll be the Archie game.
LeBron has 16, 6 of 10 from the floor.
Whatever.
So you're into sitting LaVine. Shut him down.
There's zero. I don't. You can't tell me any compelling reason as to why he should play again.
Yeah.
If the knee's flaring up and he's got a knee issue or history of knee issues, what are you? There's nothing you can accomplish.
Yeah, facts.
There's nothing you can accomplish. I mean,
and he's kind of proved that he's valuable.
He showed what he could do. We've seen what we need to see from Zach. We've seen what we need to see, or something from the team over the last month and a half or so. I don't see what you would get off of playing him. I mean, he's not like Zach's gonna go back there and pick his spots if he comes back in. I mean, he knows one way to play, and that's, all out. So I mean, it's not. Yeah, I think you sit him 100%. I would be shocked if they brought him back, and that would take me right over the edge with Garpax again.
What do we got? 14 games left? 13, 16, 14, 15 games left, 16 games left, whatever. Yeah, I'm down to sit him too.
Go ahead and just lose the rest of these ball games. You'll be fine. Lock yourself into one of those top 4 spots. Because Atlanta's out here trying to win ball games. I don't know if anybody's been watching.
Yeah, they definitely have.
Who's
that good white boy with the red hair?
Kevin Werder.
He's all right.
He's nice.
He's all right.
He's nice. Dude, so that's the thing with Atlanta, man. Like, Atlanta is not trying to tank. I mean, they suck, but they're not trying to tank. They're trying to win ball games. If you were to ask somebody with the Atlanta Hawks, like, are you guys trying to tank for a franchise player? They look at you like you're crazy. They'd be like, we got ours. It's Trae Young. You seen him?
Yeah.
They got John Collins over there putting up 20 a game. They got a nice young squad. So the Bulls
you talking about airplane, John?
Is that what they call him?
John Collins?
Airplane?
No, that was from the dunk contest when he brought out the airplane.
Is that what he do from the?
Is that we're talking about the same dude?
I don't remember. I don't know.
The young leaper. He was in the dunk contest. He was on Atlanta. That's not John Collins. I'm thinking of somebody else.
Was he? I have no idea.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Atlanta's trying to play.
But they're trying to play. Trae Young is balling right now. Yeah. So I don't think they're trying to tank to get some other player. So they're trying to win. Bulls, go ahead and just settle
Bulls have been trying to win too. I think the whole tanking thing is dead.
You won't lose like the Knicks,
this, right?
But, yeah.
Yeah. So, shut down Zach. Let's get to the draft, baby. Let's see where these balls bounce. Let's try to add another great draft piece for
a point guard. Just give me a point guard.
Yeah, get to the end of the season healthy.
I can't watch this team play without a point guard anymore.
Get to the end of the season healthy. Let's see who we pick up in the draft, and then we'll go from there. Let's talk about the NBA, man. We're not going to talk about MVP. That's tired. We already know what the deal is there. We're not going to talk about LeBron. We already know he mailed it in this year. I've been talking about that. But this Russell Westbrook situation and the fan from last night, unless you've been under a rock or you've not been paying attention, you already know what I'm talking about. Russell Westbrook gets into it with a fan last night in Utah, which he always gets into it with someone in Utah. They must be talking big shit to Russell in Utah. Yeah. Because this is the 3rd altercation that he's had in Utah. I think 2 were in the same game.
I was listening to this dude on the radio. He works for the Grizzlies, and he was or on the podcast, and he was saying that out of all the players that he covers, because he sits like behind the bench for every Grizzlies game, he said, and he's been in other arenas too, Westbrook gets it one of the worst in the NBA of all players.
That's fine.
Which does no surprise to me, obviously, right?
That would, I mean, when you act like that and you're like that, you're inviting it, and he welcomes it, I think. But as long as you don't get disrespectful.
That was part of his point, was that Russ gets it bad everywhere, so this dude had to have really said something. It's not like Russ doesn't go off, you know what I mean, like that. So, yeah.
If anything, he's going to engage with you, and then he's going to try to kill y'all.
Yeah.
But low-key, Russ obviously gets on people's nerves because look at his track record.
Yeah.
Even the little kid hit him on the court. Remember that?
Yeah,
Even the little kid is hot with Russ.
I think that was overblown. I think Russ gave him a look like he was almost joking, like, are you serious, little kid? I don't think Russ was actually trying. People try to say, like, oh, look at him, look at the kid, like he's crazy.
But what I'm saying is that he gets people in their feelings. Like, the little kid was, like, riled up enough to, like, hit him on his leg. Yeah. It's nothing, but he still did that. The dude in Philadelphia gave the 2 middle fingers.
Yeah.
Like, and he's like, yo, who is, like.
What's up with this guy?
Like, this guy, right? Yeah. But, like, these are the people that, like, Russell gets under people's skin, right?
He's one of those type of players.
Are you on the side of should Russell have just ignored him, Should he have said what he said? Are you cool with it? Where do you stand on?
I still don't. I didn't look it up over the last couple hours, but apparently it's come out what the guy said. What did he say to him?
He said, "Get down on your knees like you're used to," or something of that effect.
Okay. And they tried to say it was like
was racially driven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they looked up this guy's Twitter account.
He's like a MAGA dude.
Yeah, saying all types of crazy racial stuff on there. Look, man. Fans, like, you're at the game. It's cool to talk shit. It's cool to yell shit onto the players and this and that. Just like in life, you don't cross certain lines. You know what I mean? Like, if you and I are getting on each other, there's certain shit I'm not going to say about you, or certain places I'm not going to go. You know what I mean? And I think that code applies everywhere. So with that being said, if that dude said some crazy off-the-wall shit like that, and that's how Russ took it, I don't have a problem with that. Now, I don't know. If I'm Russ, I'm thinking about the money. And, like, I don't know if Jordan wants to see me screaming, I'll fuck you up and your wife type shit. You know what I mean? So I probably would have said something else. But at the same time, man, these dudes hear it all the time. They deal with this shit all the time. And I'm not making excuses for them. But it's like, yo, if you're going to come at me in that type of way, like, I'm still a man. You know what I'm saying? I'm still a human being. Like, don't disrespect me in that manner. So I don't have a problem with it. When I saw it, I was like, that dude must have said something crazy. And then I saw them interview that dude, and he looked like Larry the fucking Cable Guy. And I'm like, yeah, this dude definitely said some off-the-wall shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, why? Where are you?
Listen, me and Nick are elite hecklers. Mm-hmm. We have been to so many games and heckled so many players and never even come close to crossing a line.
Never.
It's not even close. There is a really famous, or a video that went viral when this dude was making fun of Alan Crabb for looking like Odell Beckham Jr. with the mohawk, and he had the blonde hair.
That's hilarious.
This dude clowned Alan Crabb for 30 minutes. Like, yo, Odell. Like, who's yelling Odell at him, right? That's how you heckle dudes. Yeah. You don't start talking about their family. You don't start talking about do this or do that.
Right.
Like, that's how you heckle dudes. Talk about Russell shooting 30% from the floor. Right. That's what you heckle dudes about.
Talk about how Paul George is a better player than him.
Something to that effect.
Lines or like whatever. Yeah. Talk about the goofy outfits he wears.
That's how you That's how you heckle dudes.
Yeah.
And that's the type of stuff where Russell will engage with you and probably say some shit back and go back and forth with you. You don't start bringing up people's families and all that bullshit. The only problem I have with what Russell said was the whole bringing his wife thing into it. He got caught up in the moment. I don't think Russ is that type of dude, and I don't think Russ is that type of dude. He got kind of caught up in the moment, and I'm sure the lady might have been pointing at him or saying some stuff too, and he was like, "Yeah, I'll fuck you up and her up too."
Yeah.
So like, that's fine. I'm not worried about Russ because he's not that type of guy, right? I have no problem with people yelling at, like, if you're going to say some disrespectful shit to me in the stands, turn around and say something back like, yo, like, what?
This guy's a clown.
Relax. That whole notion of he should have went to the security guard and pointed him out. If he did that every time someone heckled him like that, he'd be talking to security the whole game.
Why wasn't the security guard doing his job? And if he hears things like that being shouted at Russ, go do your job.
Yeah.
Because they hear all that shit too. So
no, 100%, right? I'll tell a quick story. Like, me and Nick went to a White Sox game once, and Denard Span was playing center field for the Twins. The only thing we yelled was Denard for like an hour and a half. He would turn around and wave at us. He was getting frustrated. I think he made an error in center field, and then we were on his head after that. But there's really corny ways and not funny ways to go at people.
Yeah.
And then there's funny, constructive, and honestly, you're just telling the truth. Like, I would have been on Russell's neck like, yo, why can't you hit the broadside? Like, why
are you shooting 60% for free throws?
Yeah, like, you can't. I can shoot better free throws than you right now. What's going on, Russ?
Yeah.
You more worried about your outfits and shooting free throws. Like, and Paul George, the best player on the team.
And I've been at games with people where they came at people pretty hard. But, you know, at the same time, man, like, it's like, just have some decency about you, man. In general, in public, you shouldn't say shit like that. You know what I mean? I have a problem with anybody who says wild shit like that in public. There's kids there. It's a game. I get it. Talk some shit, but, like, don't be an asshole all over the place like that. I have a problem in general with people who act that way, if we're keeping it real. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm happy they banned that dude for life. Dude's obviously an asshole. You know, if I would have been in the stands there, I probably would have said something to him, you know. Shut the fuck up. I'm trying to watch the game. For real.
Straight up.
Yeah. But let's go to the flip side of heckling.
Okay.
A not so bad heckle is, hey, sell your team. Which is what happened in New York. Was it in New York? Yeah, it was in New York. Not the Garden, obviously. Yeah. If you guys didn't see that, Dolan was walking out.
James Dolan, owner of the Knicks, owner
of Madison Square Garden, one of the most hated owners in sports. He's walking out. A fan screams at him and says, "Sell the team." Dolan stops in his tracks, turns at him, says a couple things to the guy, and then tells the security to get rid of the guy, and then they end up banning the guy from the Garden for life.
Yeah.
Dolan was on the radio today and was completely defending the action. He said the guy planned it all out. Originally, they were going to invite the guy back to a Garden, give him a tour in which he could have. Did you hear that? They're going to give. So they said when it first happened, yeah, we're going to invite the guy back to the Garden in a couple of days, give him a tour, take him behind the locker room, have him meet some players. But then we found out it was all planned, so I just banned him for life. Yeah. And then the guy's like, I mean, isn't that kind of being sensitive? He's like, no, you know, like that's not what you do. You shouldn't say that to somebody.
Yeah, you shouldn't harass.
Shouldn't harass. Yeah.
And including the owner.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm just gonna ban him. That's it.
What he's basically saying is, I own the team. If you're gonna talk shit to me, right, I'm gonna throw you out. And these interview dudes, I don't really care what you ask me about it because I own the team.
And I guess the dude had one of his buddies like recording the
it was all set up,
and then that the dude sold it to TMZ Sports.
And they have like a bird's eye view of them like walking over to the gate just to say that
he's gonna walk out of the tunnel.
To the tunnel just to say that to Dolan.
Yeah.
So that's kind of corny. But at the same time, I mean, Dolan's obviously a clown. And I mean that's it's just petty.
If I saw James Dolan in New York, I don't care if it's at the Garden, if I'm on the street,
if you're a Knicks
and
fan,
I see him,
yeah,
I'm on his neck,
on his ass,
100%.
Yeah.
Sell the squad, bro.
Yeah,
we've made the playoffs 4 times the last 19 seasons, 18 seasons.
We've won 1 NBA Finals in the last 50 years.
Like, get rid of the squad.
A marquee franchise.
You do nothing but cause trouble.
Yep.
And if you're not going to sell the team, go get some people that can run it. Because we know you're not going to sell the team, right?
Not Phil Jackson.
So go get some people that can run it and stay out of the fucking media.
Yeah.
I'll give Jerry Reinsdorf and Michael Reinsdorf that. You never hear from
them. You don't see him. You don't know what Jerry sits in the press box at the cell and that's it.
They don't walk around.
Owner's box, I'm sorry.
But he likes the attention. He likes to be famous. He's in a band. He likes that.
Oh, New York and Madison Square Garden's like that's where he brings all of his friends. Like, yeah, this is mine. Yeah.
And he that whole thing he did with
Oakley, yeah.
Like, come on, dog. So he's a clown, and I get it. You're very powerful and rich, and you don't want to walk back what you did. All you gotta do is be like, I don't know, man. I'm tripping. I'm frustrated with us losing 2. I'm not gonna ban a guy. He's a passionate Knicks fan. He's a paying customer.
How much would it suck to be banned from the Garden, though?
Yeah, that'd be whack.
That's super whack. Like, especially if dude lives in New York, which I'm assuming he does.
Yeah, because it's the Garden.
You can't go to concerts.
Yeah,
you can't. And if the Knicks are good, and he had pretty good seats too. So I mean, like,
I bet you could go to the Garden though.
Nah.
They don't have no facial recognition.
Shit, you never know.
You never know.
That casino technology.
He could go in there with some sunglasses on and be straight.
Nah, James Dolan's gonna be like, oh, I know that guy.
But yeah, man, grow up, relax. Everybody be tripping, man.
Yeah.
Let's switch over to this Serge Ibaka fight. This is the only beef I got with the NBA right now. This is it.
How they handled it?
I'm sick of guys getting run up on and punched, and then them getting ejected and suspended.
Marquise Chris, yeah.
Like,
what's he supposed to do?
What do you want this dude to do?
My man's was coming at his jugular, like at his neck. His neck.
Gee, I'm so sick of that, and I'm so over. Like, the only thing that he did to Serge was kind of push him, foul him. And Serge fell down, and he kind of looked down at him. And
I wonder if he said. I want to know what he said to him, but
it didn't even look like he said
Serge
anything.
Beyond that. I mean, Serge is on that, yeah.
But either way, right? Even if he said like, "Get your soft ass up,"
yeah,
okay. He comes over, pushes me into the support beam,
Tries to choke me out.
I then defend myself and throw a punch at him like, get off of me.
Yeah.
I'm tired of dudes getting ejected and shit like that and getting suspended.
And that costs like, a game check.
Where does the human element come in where you're looking at what happened and you're like, all right, this dude does not deserve to lose 2 game checks?
Yeah, I'm appealing that suspension. Is it 2? I thought it was just 1.
I don't know what it is, but it's still a game.
I'm appealing that suspension 100%.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's the only beef I got with the NBA. Double technical, too.
Yeah.
Dude doesn't do anything. He comes over and gets headbutted. He gets a double technical.
I don't know how much I blame those refs in the moment that kicked them out, just because I think at that point they're not looking at it from that looking at the video and having all that. So I think they're just trying to de-escalate the situation so you get rid of both guys. I think they're instructed that. But it's the afterward shit once you've seen the video and you have a chance to review it. Again, yeah, if I'm him and I'm his representative and his agent, I'm saying, well, what do you want him to do?
Right.
Please put out a memo, like you like to do, telling me what I'm supposed to do. Report. Yeah, telling me what we're supposed to do in this situation. If Serge Ibaka comes running at your neck with his hand out, well, how are you supposed to handle this so that it doesn't cost you a game check? Couple $100,000.
Straight up.
You know what I'm saying? Or 50, 60, 70,000, whatever it might be.
Yeah,
but that was crazy, though. Serge, I mean, he went at him crazy.
Surge was hot, and they were getting smoked.
And that wasn't a
that was a classic NBA.
They lost by 25.
That was a classic NBA. What was that, Sunday night?
Shout out Colin Sexton. That was Monday. Colin Sexton at 28. Trying to tell y'all about the young bull.
Nah, man, get out of here.
He's the key to the tank.
Anything else you got on that? That's the only problem I got with the NBA.
No, that's all I had. I did want to ask you a couple. I mean, what else you got?
No. Go ahead. You got it.
I wanted to ask you a couple questions about the NBA, and just now that it looks like I'm fucking thirsty. Western Conference is starting to shake out a bit. So it looks like there's a battle for that 8th spot between the Clippers, San Antonio, and Utah as far as which one was going to fall in it. So I'm going to ask you this. If you're Golden State, out of those 3 teams, which one would you prefer to play? The Clippers, San Antonio, or the Jazz? Assuming Golden State gets that 1 spot. And which of those 3 teams, I guess the other side is, which of those 3 teams should feel the most confident going against Golden State, even though they're all going to get swept? But who has the best chance, and who should Golden State want to play?
I want to play San Antonio.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No, why?
Because Boogie can deal with LaMarcus. Miles has to chase around. Not Miles. Patty Mills has to chase around Steph. Yeah. And they're a terrible road team. They play really well at home and don't play really well away from home. So I would play them. And they've seen them before. They got a little experience with them. I definitely don't want to see Sacramento.
Sacramento's not going to make the playoffs. They're 4 games out.
What were the other 3? Who were the 3 you named?
It was between the Clippers. San Antonio, and Utah. I mean, Portland. You could add Portland in there too if you want to. I don't think they definitely don't want to see Portland. They actually might want to see Portland. Portland got ran out by New Orleans last year.
We have this same conversation about Portland every year. Every year.
Great regular season team.
I saw a tweet. No matter what the Trailblazers record is, it's always 43-39.
Yeah, that's funny.
No matter what it is. Like if they're 60-22, they're 43-39.
Right.
So like I thought that was funny.
So between the Clippers, the Spurs, and Utah,
I don't want to play the Clippers because they got some talent and they got a good coach. I'm not to say that Popovich's not a good coach. Not that he's a good coach, but they got some pieces. They got Pat Bev and he could get in people's head.
They got Lou Will.
They got Lou Will coming off the bench. He broke that record the other night. Most points scored off the bench.
Lou Will had 34. In 23 minutes.
Yeah, so like
he had 20 shots in 23 minutes.
They got Gallinari. They got a couple pieces that can make some noise. I still don't even get how San Antonio's in the mix, to be honest.
It's the system.
Right. So like that's who.
I don't even know who. I mean, they got DeRozan and Aldridge. We're both good players, but nobody else outside of that.
Yeah, but then DeRozan has to deal with Clay.
Yeah.
Like that's just a bad matchup for those guys, right?
What about Utah?
I like Utah, but I think Donovan Mitchell doesn't want it he's going to have to see Clay too.
She's going to shoot the ball 40 times.
Yeah, and he doesn't want that. Yeah. Utah would be interesting.
So you think the Clippers are one of those teams that just kind of plays hard? They're scrappy.
Yeah, Doc knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
I think that could get.
Pat Bev is not scared.
Yeah,
Pat Bev loves playing Steph Curry too.
Yeah, Pat Bev.
Back to the Rockets days. He's always done what he can against Steph Curry for sure.
So yeah, I think that's where I'm leaning towards that. What about you? You think?
Probably the Clippers.
You said they wouldn't want to see the Clippers,
I don't
right?
think I'd want to see the Clippers either for those same reasons. You never want to see that scrap. I mean, they're going to beat any team they want to play.
My boy Montrez.
But you don't want to. Yeah, you don't want to have a hard, tough series against some team that has nothing to lose, and that's pretty much what the Clippers are.
Yo, and speaking of Golden State, did you hear those Klay Thompson comments?
No, what'd he say?
Klay Thompson hopped on the mic the other day and called out Golden State's fans.
Oh yeah, I heard about it. I didn't hear what he said.
They weren't. He's like, yo, why was it? He essentially was like, y'all not making enough noise. Where was the support? Blah 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 blah. Like, I know we're always in the playoff mix and we're trying to get to the playoffs, but we would appreciate you. He essentially was like, where are y'all at? And I was like, dog.
Your fans have been showing up for years.
And.
The regular
Give me a break, dude. They're numb to they're not as much. They're interested in the regular season as much as y'all.
As much as y'all are. Yeah, I was about to say, where's your regular season passion?
Yeah, what do you expect them to come in there and do?
Yeah,
like we've won what 3 or 4?
Oh my God, we're beating Minnesota.
Yeah, we've won 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
Yeah,
like,
we're good.
Nah, dude, we're not. They're not on that.
A negative thing about Klay. I don't know if that's ever hit the airwaves anywhere.
Yeah, but I just didn't get what
hot take.
What are you trying to accomplish?
Yeah, no,
if it was the playoffs and they weren't showing up,
they're
and you
just
feel like
bored,
they weren't
man.
making
They
it
got nothing to talk about either.
Yeah, they got to get to the playoffs
bored.
ASAP. Rocky.
Only one of them that's excited is Boogie because this is all new to him.
Yeah, Boogie.
You know what I mean? Boogie's out there having a ball.
Boogie excited.
What is this?
This is going to be the first playoff appearance?
It's going to be his first playoff because remember he was hurt last year when the Pelicans made it. So,
right. Yeah, shout out Boog.
Yeah, so I mean that's yeah, I think I'm going. I wouldn't. Yeah, for them, I wouldn't want to see the Clippers, but it looks like they're going to end up seeing either San Antonio or Utah. But yeah, Sacramento fell out.
Shout out the Pacers for keeping pace.
Crazy.
Also,
yeah,
that could have been. What's up?
Is that Nate McMillan's the coach?
Yeah,
that could be getting coach of the year.
That could have been very, very tragic, and it didn't let it get it down. They've been rolling
right
along.
now. They're slotted to play Boston, the hottest, coldest team in the world.
They got smacked, last night by the Clippers.
I think the Clippers were just playing crazy, though. Did you watch that game?
I did watch
Clippers
it.
were just playing crazy. But,
yeah, me and Alyssa was watching it with me, too.
Yeah, they played well in Golden State. They're just hot and cold, man. I don't want to see Indiana in the playoffs either, though. That's another scrappy team that's going to play you hard. Because right now, it's Milwaukee versus Miami. That's easy. Toronto, Detroit.
Yeah.
Easy. Philly and Brooklyn. Look.
Easy.
Look. I watch Brooklyn.
Don't get it twisted.
Brooklyn's been bad in the last couple of weeks, but again, Philly is one of those teams. But Philly loses dumbass games.
Easy.
Philly loses dumbass games.
Easy.
All right, and then Indy and Boston.
Interesting.
Indy and Boston is interesting. With Oladipo, that's real interesting.
It's very interesting with Oladipo.
With Oladipo, that could be an L.
With Oladipo, it was interesting with LeBron.
Yeah.
So, yeah, of course.
Vic ain't scared.
No doubt.
So that's a blessing for Boston. I don't think Boston wants to fall back into that 6th spot and have to see Philly, though, in the first round.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How should we close it? Should we tell a story from our MLB escapades, or should we just go ahead and get out of here and go get some Odell Beckham news?
It's up to you, man.
Let's get out of here.
We'll save U of I basketball for next week.
Okay, yeah, you got some. We could do some quick comments real quick.
I read that article in The Athletic talking about, obviously the U of I basketball's recent struggles and, just not very good. And it got me thinking. So I reached out to our boy Eli. I said, hey, man, if you could.
The Michigan fan.
A Michigan fan who went to U of I. I said,
Eli, the Michigan fan.
I said, if you could fix U of I, if there's 3 things you'd want to do to fix U of I, what would you do? And at first he said nothing. But then he said something along the lines of you got to play in the mud, which got both of us thinking to exactly what they should do.
Pay to play. That sounds like pay to play.
There's an obvious choice out there for what U of I should do. I want to know if you know it. If you want to play in the mud and get your team good real fast.
Well, you signed a brother from the city.
Yeah. No, well, coach. I'm thinking coach.
That's what I'm saying. Coach from the city.
No, there's somebody out there. Somebody in Greece right now.
I have no idea what you're talking
Hall of Fame coach. Known for playing in the mud, but wins a lot of ball games.
You're
out of a job right now.
You're talking about, you're not talking about old school.
Nah. I'm talking about Rick Pitino.
Yeah.
So my question, if you were U of I, would you bring in Rick Pitino?
Wow. Yeah.
I just read an article on him. You know, he's coaching in Greece.
Are they balling?
He's coaching not Olympiakos, but the other one, Panathinaikos.
Okay, yeah.
It was like their second team.
Yeah.
No, they're not balling, but
he's coaching.
He's out there, yeah. You read this, Steve. You got to read. You would love this story.
He's
pretty much working for this dude who's like a mafia dude. It sounds like his owner is crazy out. You would love this story, bro.
Yeah, I'm definitely.
It's about how these European basketball clubs are crazy, and Pitino was like, "This is the craziest shit I've ever seen." But yeah, Rick Pitino.
I wouldn't be mad at that. Listen, what are we just talking about with the Bears? Go for it.
Go for it.
They've been like
U of I's been bad forever.
They've been bad for a long time now.
So
they've been trash for a while now.
I pulled this up because I wanted to know because
the biggest issue, Luther Head not walking through that door.
Their biggest issue has always been recruiting in state, right?
Yes.
So I pulled up the top 10 players in Illinois for the class of 2019. Number 1 player going to Ohio State. Number 2 player
Nebraska.
Going to Texas Tech.
Yeah, see, that can't happen.
Number 3 player DePaul. 4 Kansas State.
Who's number 3?
Marquise Jacobs from somewhere from the city.
What's it called? I think I saw him play. They
don't have his school listed.
All right.
Number 4 Kansas State. Listen to this. Loyola's getting the number 5 and number 6 players in the state.
Illinois not
still
even
no one.
Yet.
SIU 7th player in the state. 8th player in the state. I think that's Butler. I don't even know what squad that is.
That might be. It's like Fresno State or something.
He's not Illinois.
St. Louis.
St. Louis, is that what it is?
Yeah, that's St. Louis. Oh my gosh.
So you're losing players to St. Louis.
Right.
Number 9 player, Harvard. You have the number 10th player is the first player in Illinois that's coming to U of I.
Yeah.
The 10th best player in the state. You missed out on 9 recruits in the state of Illinois.
Yeah, that's bad.
And you're not losing them to Duke. You're not losing them to North
We've
Carolina.
always talked about this.
You're not losing them to Kentucky. How are you losing recruits to Loyola?
Go get Pitino.
How are you losing recruits to Southern?
I like it.
That's what I'm saying. I understand losing a recruit to Ohio State because that's Ohio State. But even they're not a basketball powerhouse. He's not going to play football. How are you losing a recruit to Texas Tech in Chicago?
Texas Tech is all right now.
How are you losing a recruit in Illinois to Texas Tech?
Kansas State is a better example. At least
Kansas
Texas Tech
State
is a good team.
SIU.
St. Louis.
Harvard. I guess Harvard, the new Trier guy who's going to Harvard, but that to me was crazy, man. You have 1 player in the top 10 of the state coming here. Bring in Rick.
Get dirty.
Rick's got the envelopes.
Get dirty with it. He got the people that got the envelopes.
I think that's the solution to U of I, man. Bring in Rick Pitino, play in the mud, but that is crazy, man. No 1 player in the top 10.
I like it. We'll leave it there. Shout out Rick Pitino. Bring him to Illinois. That's the headline.
Bring in Rick Pitino to Illinois.
Champagne. Rick Pitino to
Champagne. Type of town.
That's it for No Ketchup Chicago for this week. Go check out the website, man. NoKetchupChicago.com. Merch is on there. I'm going to load up some dope pictures. I got this idea for some legendary pics. I'm going to throw up some dope. Everybody on the hoodie, I'm going to try to throw up like a dope picture of one of those guys on the site. So be on the lookout for that. Yeah, man, that's it. You already know how we're rocking. For Nick the Quick, I'm your host, Sean Little. No Ketchup Chicago, for Chicago, by Chicago. Listen up. Rick